Bad habits are like chains that hold us back from reaching our potential. They start small, but over time, they grow stronger, and before you know it, they become so ingrained that they control your life. The truth is, bad habits don't just happen by accident. They are formed through a series of choices, and most people don't even realize when they are making those choices. But the good news is, you have the power to break them. So, let's talk about 5 ways you can break bad habits before they break you. These aren't just tips, they're strategies that, when applied with discipline, can change your life. 1. Take responsibility for your actions. One of the first steps to breaking bad habits is taking full responsibility for them. It's easy to blame your environment, your circumstances, or other people for your habits. But the truth is, you are the one in control. You have made the choices that led to these habits, and only you have the power to undo them. Accepting responsibility is empowering. It's the first step toward change. You might say, "But Jim, my habits are too strong. I've been doing them for years." Well, let me tell you, it's never too late to change. The moment you take responsibility, you regain control. When you stop blaming others, you free yourself to make the necessary changes. Stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the master of your life. 2. Change your environment. Your environment has a powerful influence on your habits. If you want to break a bad habit, you need to change the environment that supports it. For example, if you're trying to quit smoking and you're always surrounded by people who smoke, it's going to be much harder to break that habit. Similarly, if you're trying to lose weight but your kitchen is stocked with unhealthy food, it's going to be difficult to make better choices. The key to breaking bad habits is creating an environment that supports your goals. This could mean distancing yourself from negative influences, changing your routine, or even getting rid of things that trigger your bad habits. It's like setting up your surroundings to help you succeed. The fewer temptations you face, the easier it will be to stay on track. 3. Set clear, specific goals. When it comes to breaking bad habits, vague resolutions like, "I want to be healthier," or, "I want to quit smoking," aren't enough. You need clear, specific goals. A vague goal doesn't have the power to drive real change because it lacks focus. You need to be clear about what you want to achieve and how you're going to do it. For example, instead of saying, "I want to get fit," say, "I will exercise for 30 minutes every day this week." Instead of, "I want to stop procrastinating," say, "I will work on my most important task for 30 minutes without interruption every morning." Specific goals are like a map. They guide your actions and help you track progress. Once you've set your clear goals, break them down into smaller, actionable steps. This will make them seem less overwhelming and give you a roadmap to follow. The key is to take consistent action every single day. Even small steps forward will add up to significant change over time. 4. Replace bad habits with good ones. The key to breaking a bad habit is not just stopping it, it's about replacing it with something better. You can't just remove a habit without filling that space with something more positive. If you want to quit smoking, for example, don't just focus on not smoking. You need to replace that habit with something healthier, like chewing gum, drinking water, or even going for a walk. This gives your mind and body something to focus on and keeps you from falling back into the old habit. The best way to make this work is by choosing an alternative habit that satisfies the same need. For example, if you snack when you're bored, replace snacking with a productive activity like reading, journaling, or exercising. If you tend to procrastinate when you're stressed, replace procrastination with a stress-relieving habit like meditation, deep breathing, or a physical activity that relaxes you. But here's the catch: you have to stick with it. The new habit needs time to form. It's like planting a new seed. At first, it's fragile and requires care and attention. But with consistent effort, it grows into a strong, positive habit that can replace the old one. Replacing a bad habit isn't easy, but it's one of the most powerful ways to ensure lasting change. 5. Practice self-discipline and patience. One of the most important things to understand about breaking bad habits is that it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You won't wake up one day and be free of your bad habits. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take patience. Self-discipline is the ability to control your impulses, emotions, and behaviors to achieve your goals. It's not about willpower alone. It's about creating the right environment and mindset that allows you to succeed. When you practice self-discipline, you're telling yourself that you are stronger than your habits. You are in control, not the other way around. Here's the hard truth. You will face challenges along the way. It's not going to be easy. There will be times when you slip up, when your old habits tempt you to return. But that's not a reason to quit. It's a reason to push harder. Self-discipline is about getting back on track even when you stumble. It's about making the commitment to keep moving forward, no matter what. And remember, breaking a bad habit isn't a race. It's a marathon. The key is to be patient with yourself. Progress might be slow, but it's still progress. Celebrate the small wins along the way, and remember that every step forward is a victory. 6. Build stronger relationships for accountability. One of the most powerful tools you can use to break bad habits is accountability. When you share your goals with someone who supports you and holds you accountable, you significantly increase your chances of success. It's easy to make excuses when you're on your own, but when you have someone to answer to, it changes the game. Find someone who has a vested interest in your success. It could be a friend, a family member, or even a mentor who understands your goals and is willing to check in with you regularly. Accountability doesn't just help you stay on track, it also provides motivation and encouragement when things get tough. Remember, we are social creatures. We thrive when we have a support system. If you want to break a bad habit, find someone who will celebrate your successes and encourage you when you're struggling. Accountability partners are like a safety net. They catch you when you fall and help you get back up. Also, consider surrounding yourself with people who are already living the way you want to live. If you're trying to quit smoking, for example, find friends who don't smoke. If you're trying to get fit, spend time with people who prioritize health and fitness. Being in the right environment with the right people makes it easier to break bad habits and adopt good ones. 7. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to break bad habits is they aim for perfection. They believe that they have to completely eliminate their bad habits all at once. This often leads to disappointment and frustration when they slip up. But here's the truth. You don't need to be perfect. What matters is progress. Success isn't about being perfect, it's about making progress every day. Each day you work on breaking a bad habit is a win, even if you don't see immediate results. If you slip up, don't beat yourself up. It's about learning from your mistakes and moving forward with renewed focus. The key is consistency. You don't need to make huge changes overnight. Small, consistent steps will eventually lead to massive transformation. Focus on making progress, not on being perfect. The more you focus on improving little by little, the easier it becomes to overcome your bad habits and create lasting change. 8. Stay committed to the process. When it comes to breaking bad habits, commitment is everything. You have to commit to the process, even when it gets tough. Breaking a bad habit is never easy, but it is always worth it. The process will test your patience, your discipline, and your willpower. But if you stay committed, you will emerge stronger and more resilient on the other side. One of the best ways to stay committed is to remind yourself of why you started. Why do you want to break this habit? What will your life look like once you've successfully broken it? Keep your goals in front of you, and make them bigger than the bad habit. Visualize the life you want and stay focused on the long-term rewards, not the short-term struggles. Commitment means showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about pushing through the discomfort and continuing the journey, no matter how difficult it may seem. Remember, every day you stay committed is one step closer to breaking free from your bad habits. Breaking bad habits isn't a one-time event, it's a continuous process of self-improvement. But you have everything you need to succeed: self-discipline, responsibility, a solid support system, and a commitment to progress. By applying these 5 strategies, you'll not only break your bad habits but also create new, positive habits that will transform your life for the better. So take action today. Break free from the chains of your bad habits and start living the life you've always dreamed of.